there's a lot of farmers out there that refuse to get certified by the USDA because they think that doing that is going to actually degrade their products. Hello, this is Chef Marcus Guiliano, and I'm your chef on a mission. Today's mission is organic fraud. Food fraud. Organic food fraud. This has been an issue for quite some time now, and here's what the deal is. The organic food label is commercialized. The organic food industry is growing by leaps and bounds. And there's a lot of crooks out there that will deceive you, mislead you, and charge for things that aren't organic. So this is an article from myajc.com. I don't know what that stands for. From the Atlantic Journalism Constitution. My Atlantic Journalism Constitution. I've never been on this site before, but it was in a news feed in a Google alert, and this was a common topic of alerts. Organic food fraud leads Congress to weigh bill doubling USDA oversight. So basically the government wants to spend a lot more money and put a lot more things into place to make sure that you and I are buying real organic food is the gist of this whole article. John Fazio from New York has 33 House co-sponsors and backers. Hopes the bipartisan support will enable the passage this next year. The USDA's National Organic Program is supposed to protect consumers from food that is advertised as organic, but that does not meet organic organic standards. This year, the Washington Post has published several stories casting doubt on the authenticity of the products from some of the largest organic producers, milk, eggs, and imported grains. Well, duh. And here's the problem with this, and I did a video on this the other day, where I was nominated back in 1999, 2000 to be on the Organic Standards Board. I was in Colorado, I was a young chef, I was gung-ho, I was supporting a lot of farms, I was very vocal, like I am now, and I was told by people when I moved to New York that I'd never get appointed to the board because the board is made up of big companies. Big companies like ConAgra, General Mills, Hain Celestial, big companies that want to be in the organic or are in the organic world. And let's face it, who am I? Some little chef who has a big mouth compared to a company that has big bucks, big influence. So this is, of course, I'm not telling you anything new, a lot of you. You know how government works. Government is influenced by corporations, by big business, by not so nice politics. So the organic standards, folks, was written by big companies so big companies could play the game. Okay, I said this last week. Chickens that are organic are still sprayed down with chlorine because you can't have mass production organic chickens without having salmonella and disease as part of it. So there's a lot of farmers out there that refuse to get certified by the USDA because they think that doing that is going to actually degrade their products. Yes, degrade their products, because why should they pay a system that was written by General Mills, ConAgra, and all these big companies when they're the small farmer and they know best what's best for their land, what's best for the health of the environment, best for them, and they have more standards than the USDA's organic standards is basically the bottom line. Because just because it's organic certified doesn't mean it's a perfect food. Now, by no means am I telling you not to support organic, folks. Let's get that, right out here now. Keep supporting organic because that's the way of the future. But the more that you get involved in supporting organic, the more you're going to want to support people that are local to you, that may not be certified, that you can have a conversation with about their products. You can go to a farmer's market, you can visit the farm, or you can join one of their community-supported agriculture products where they deliver food to you every week for half of the year, 9 months out of the year, however long it is. You pay your share and you own a share of the farm. So that's the wave of the future. Now, a lot of people are saying, well, Marcus, this isn't possible because you cannot feed America on small family farms. Well, did you know in Russia that 80-90% of the people that there are fed from a family farm that is less than 1.5 acres. They feed the majority of the population from farms that are 1.5 acres or less. Now, of course, Russia is a vast area, but there's also a vast area of nothing and very cold and arid and dry where you don't really grow many things. But they are making this model work. So this model is possible. Now, part of the problem with our way of we eat in America is we have way too much food waste. So good produce, good things just go to waste. We're raising way too much livestock that are relying upon way too much grain. So if we reduced food waste, first of all, food processing, and eat real food, if we ate less animal products, okay, had a lesser rely on all of these, there would be a lot more opportunity for the real organic growth, a real organic model. So some of these farmers are now looking into alternative organic certifications. Rodell is coming up with one, and I forget who else they mentioned in this article. Several farm groups, out of frustration, are creating alternatives to the USDA organic label. Predominantly, Rodell Institute. Rodell's done fantastic research and a great job doing their organic program. Patagonia, the clothing company, is also stepping into the game now. The apparel maker are promoting a new regenerative organic standard that may fill the gap in current USDA organic rules. Now, Patagonia, if you buy clothing out there, Patagonia is one of the better companies. I know it's a little more expensive, but it's one of the better companies. They've always had a much fairer stance, a much better stance on fair labor and all that kind of thing. So if you're concerned about social impacts of the clothing you're buying, Patagonia is probably one of the clothing lines that you would want to look into. So really good company to support. And of course, now they're making their word or their mark in the food, organic food. Yeah. And you know, the problem is, like I said, big corporations have their hand in this. It's just like the food pyramid. The food pyramid was written by special interest groups. It was written by the dairy industry. It was written by the meat industry. So no matter what the science is on certain things, things are constructed to fit industry, big American industry. So how can you stop this? How can you make a difference? Like I said, go to a farmer's market, plain and simple. Support a local farmer. Find out, ask more questions. When you do go to the store, folks, and you're faced with buying carrots from California, let's just use that as an example. Carrots from California. Buy the organic carrots from California, okay? If you're faced with buying organic apples, or you're buying apples, and there are no local apples, and let's just say there's no farmer's market, there's no season, there's no options locally. If you're going to the store, then you do want to support the organic label. It's important to support that because, yes, it does indeed help some farmer somewhere make a change and use less chemicals, use something less destructive to their land. But however, some of these things that are imported, the article specifically mentions here a whole soybean scam that came from Turkey that was shipped through Ukraine. You know, some of these things that come in, you just have to wonder, like, these countries are coming from, like, really, what is going on here? I see when we used to buy organic beans, now we have a great source for organic beans. They're all from New York State. But there's times that I get white beans, kidney beans, and they say product of Turkey, product of China, and I'm scratching my head and like, organic certification in China. What's going on here? And I would question these, and a lot of times I'd try to find a different source. But if I couldn't find a different source for organic white beans at the time, I would say, okay, these Chinese organic white beans would be my best option. So you have to kind of weigh things out and say, what is my best option? Now, those organic white beans could have been a total 100% scam. I don't know. But, you know, you kind of have to go onto the faith of that, hey, this is my mission, to buy organic and support organic. But like I said, the more you get involved in this, the more questions you want to ask and the more local you want to buy. So buying local is super important in that dialogue. I'm Chef Marcus Guiliano. Thanks for watching. If you like my videos, please hit like, subscribe to my channel, and definitely pass it on. Please leave some comments. I'd be happy to answer.